Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of Her Highness Sheikh Moza bint Nasser.
Every journey, however long, however hard, however fraught with obstacles or challenges, has a destination. But that doesn't mean we have to know that destination when we set out. Often, all that is required is a vision, a desire to improve, or just a determination to do more. Andrew Carnegie was born on the 25th of November 1835 in the Scottish Lowlands, a place he called heaven on earth. But this was a lad with a real desire for self-improvement. He was the son of a weaver, and times were hard. So despite his thirst for knowledge, he had little access to books and no formal education. But that didn't stop him. When he was 13 years old, he moved with his family to the United States for a better life. Carnegie was not shy of hard work, and the long hours he worked did nothing to dull his ambitious spirit. To better himself, he worked his way through a series of jobs. He developed the skills, mentality, and determination that would define him as an entrepreneur, always finding new ways to expand his business. Whilst many would be happy to merely reap the rewards, Carnegie could not resist seeking out new opportunities. With an innate ability to see things differently, he was often the first to envision a new path, and when he did, he would march right on down it. And so he found himself at the forefront of the Age of Steel, turning the American industrial world upside down and amassing himself a fortune. But success cannot be measured by money alone. At the age of 33, Andrew Carnegie took a moment to reflect on his life. He wrote himself a letter, vowing to further educate himself and to devote time to philanthropy. Whilst his business interests continued with increasing success, he became a contributor to many publications, culminating in his most famous piece, The Gospel of Wealth, in 1889, defining a belief that the rich should be responsible and thoughtful with their wealth by giving others the opportunity to reach their potential and make a difference in the world. But Carnegie didn't just write about it, because when Carnegie reached a destination, he would soon find a new one, always moving on. Carnegie gave away the majority of his fortune, billions in today's money. It was on November 15th, 1900, he opened a technical institute in Pittsburgh with the words, "My heart is in the work." The institution he founded in 1900 focused on vocational training for the sons and daughters of working-class Pittsburghers. This institution went on to become a top-ranked global university. No one can doubt that Andrew Carnegie's work still lives on, with innovative thinking that continues to shape the world. Such as the invention of the first computer that could think, or our alumni helping design the iPhone, or the creation of a unique fashion brand, a discovery that led to Kevlar, the creation of the first Smiley, producing leaders in the worlds of robotics, providing open access to the world's largest bank of educational technological data, or revolutionizing business education. Today, this is Carnegie Mellon University, and our hearts are still in the work.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Your Highness, Sheikh Elizabeth Nasser, President Suresh, Your Excellencies and Ministers, faculty, alumni, students and honored guests, welcome to the 10th anniversary celebration of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. My name is Ahmed Al-Salama, and I am a Carnegie Mellon Computer Science graduate, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening's celebration. I am incredibly honored to be here with you as part of this wonderful occasion, which personally means so much to me and to many of you joining us tonight. This evening, we will be reflecting and celebrating on the achievements, memories, and milestones of the past 10 years, while also looking towards the future of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. We are delighted to be able to welcome many of our CMU family with us here, and also extend our welcome to those who are joining us via the live webcast being streamed on our webpage. Tonight, I have the privilege of officially welcoming President Suresh to Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. President Suresh joined the university in July 2013 after previously serving as the director of the National Science Foundation. A distinguished scientist and engineer, President Suresh is the only current university president and one of only 16 Americans to be elected to all 3 national academies: the Institute of Medicine, the National Academy of Sciences, and the National Academy of Engineering. This is his first official visit to our campus here in Qatar, and we are honored to have him with us to mark this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to stage President Subra Suresh.
Good evening. Your Highness, Sheikh Moza bint Nasser, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and friends. Welcome to you all, and thank you for coming today to this 10th anniversary celebration. It's wonderful to see so many graduates, faculty, and students from Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar here for this wonderful occasion. I'm very grateful for the presence of Her Highness, Sheikh Moza bint Nasser, chairperson of the Qatar Foundation, whose inspiring vision continues to guide the growth of the education city and much, much more. Finally, thank you to the faculty, staff, students, and graduates of Carnegie Mellon University, Qatar. This celebration today is really all about you and the many years of pioneering hard work on your part. Also with us here are many of my colleagues from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, including members of my senior administration, President Emeritus Jerry Cohen, deans of various academic units, and a number of faculty members and staff members. I'm especially grateful to 3 Carnegie Mellon faculty members who took on the challenge of leading the Qatar campus as deans. My thanks go to Dr. Chuck Thorpe, Dr. Dick Tucker, and to Dr. Ilker Baybars. My thanks also go to all our colleagues from the CMU Pittsburgh campus and the Qatar campus, including Provost Mark Camlett, who's right here, General Counsel Mary Jo Dively, and many others who have been deeply involved in this campus and in Education City from the very beginning. So many of you from CMU, from Qatar and Pittsburgh, have played a critical role in creating and nurturing our efforts here. Thank you. As we celebrate our accomplishments today, we look forward to the second decade with great excitement. As you just saw in the video, this campus is a part of a much longer and larger tradition. When Andrew Carnegie founded Carnegie Tech in Pittsburgh in 1900, he believed that the task of higher education was to prepare students for a fulfilling life, to educate them for a technology-driven society, and to make differences in the lives of their families and their communities. Carnegie's ideals for higher education remain as meaningful today as they were 114 years ago. More than ever before in human history, Higher education is the pathway for young people everywhere in the world to participate in the expanding global economy and achieve their potential and dreams, not only for themselves, but for their families, for their nations, and for the global society. The world is facing dramatic change, and it needs many more diverse, bright, prepared, and creative minds to solve the significant problems facing us in the decades ahead, to discover new sources of energy and engineer more efficient ways to store and use that energy, to adapt to climate change, to create reliable and secure information technologies that will support new ways to work, to farm, and to share ideas, to cure diseases, and to alleviate human suffering. All of these challenges require many kinds of minds with diverse backgrounds, with different life experiences to come together. And we need to use every bit of talent we can muster. And I firmly believe that when people with different backgrounds and different life experiences come together to address grand challenges, it enhances and enriches innovation because they look at the same issue from different points of view, and they often correct one another's biases, hidden or overt. Governments around the world are realizing the critical importance of education, research, and innovation in transforming lives, and many are taking decisive action. But I can think of no other nation which has responded as vigorously and as imaginatively as has Qatar. The story of Education City has been a powerful example for the entire world, and the world has taken notice of this success. Carnegie Mellon University was very proud to join with Qatar Foundation in establishing this campus 10 years ago to build higher education capacity in Qatar and the region. By any measure, this campus has exceeded our expectations. The very best evidence of this is in the 298 graduates who are already making important contributions in industry, government, and communities around the country here, around the region, and the world, just as Andrew Carnegie had envisioned 114 years ago. I've had the privilege and the pleasure of meeting a number of these wonderful students and alumni. The impact of these young people have gone well beyond what you will see just in numbers and figures. This campus has also created living connections among faculty, students, and graduates across Carnegie Mellon's global network, sharing research projects, classes, student exchanges, and outreach activities. The students and faculty of this campus have embraced Carnegie Mellon's interdisciplinary and collaborative approach to problem solving, and they have enriched our entire university with new ideas, new ways of thinking, and an obvious passion for learning. I've had the pleasure of meeting students and staff and faculty in 3 different town hall sessions yesterday. The graduates are working for some of the most innovative companies on the planet, while others are furthering their studies at leading universities, including Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. They have become an integral part of worldwide Carnegie Mellon network of approximately 95,000 people who are united by this unique educational and research approach. This is truly just the beginning. We look forward to new opportunities to build on this success by expanding student and faculty interactions and creating new opportunities for collaboration among Qatar and Carnegie Mellon's other campuses and programs around the world. It is a joy to be here to celebrate what Carnegie Mellon in Qatar and its young graduates are accomplishing. None of this would have been possible without the Qatar Foundation. Her Highness Sheikha Mosa bin Nasser, chairperson of the Qatar Foundation, has been inspirational in the evolution of these collaborative efforts. Her deep and abiding belief in opening up new educational opportunities has been realized at Education City, which is a model for the world. Through many other activities, including the Educate a Child program, Her Highness is recognized as one of the world's most prominent and tireless ambassadors for education, and using education as the best way to build a strong, responsive, and innovative society for all people. We are grateful for all she continues to do, especially in Education City, and we are deeply honored that she is here with us today to share in our 10th anniversary celebration. Thank you all for being here with us for this celebration. And thank you for honoring what has been achieved here and for sharing our hopes for even a brighter future. Thank you.
Carnegie might have been a visionary, but even in his wildest dreams, it is doubtful that he would have imagined that one day the wheels he set in motion would have traveled quite so far. He would have been inspired by the National Vision 2030 and humbled that his university would partner with Qatar Foundation by having an undergraduate campus in Education City. Of course, he would have thrived in the big, diverse community, brimming with energy, enthusiasm, and ideas. And he would have loved the relentless drive to improve that has seen Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar take such enormous strides in the last 10 years. A place where outstanding people come together with the greatest influences. A world-renowned faculty that teaches with passion and involves their students in groundbreaking research. Projects, speakers, and programs. To realize their full potential. Each and everyone contributing to an incredible growth. And a legacy. Just as Carnegie was passionate about using his resources to make a difference, those that have benefited from a Carnegie Mellon education continue to contribute to a better society. Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar is helping to shape our future. Over 90% of graduates have been placed in top companies in Qatar and around the world. There are thinkers, business leaders, researchers, and scientists that will impact the state of Qatar and change the world. So while we should always be focused on breaking the boundaries and on moving forward, we should also allow ourselves to pause for thought, for reflection, to look back and celebrate, and to remind us that this is about creating a collaborative spirit and finding new and innovative ways to change the world, just like Andrew Carnegie did at the age of 33. Every journey, however long, however hard, however fraught with obstacles and challenges, has a destination. But that doesn't mean we have to know that destination when we set out. Often what is required is a vision, a desire to improve, and determination to do more. No one would have been more excited and inspired than a young Andrew Carnegie, knowing that after 179 years, after so much has been achieved, that we are still just starting our incredible journey.
The huge achievements of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar's students and faculty would not have been possible without the guidance and leadership of Her Highness Sheikha Mosa bin Nasser, chairperson of Qatar Foundation. In honor of Her Highness, we would like to dedicate a performance of music composed by CMU Professor Leonardo Balada. We are delighted to have Professor Balada with us this evening. And would like to welcome the Matisse Quartet, who are students from the Pittsburgh campus, to perform two movements entitled Two Miniatures. An immeasurable part of the success of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar has been the integral leadership of our Dean, Dr. Iker Beybars, who has been a member of the Carnegie Mellon faculty since 1978. Before becoming Dean of Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar, Dr. Beybars was the Deputy Dean of the Tepper School of Business. We are proud to have him as our Dean, and many of us here this evening, myself included, have often looked up to him throughout our educational careers. Unfortunately, he is unable to join us this evening, but he has asked Dr. Mark Camlett, the Provost of Carnegie Mellon, to speak on his behalf. Your Highness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to stage the Provost and Executive Vice President of Carnegie Mellon University, Dr. Mark Camlett.
Your Highness, Excellencies, distinguished guests. 10 years ago, the Qatar Foundation invited Carnegie Mellon University to join what was then called Education City, and to become a partner in one of the most innovative educational models in the world. For Carnegie Mellon, having grown from regional to national and then to international stature, Carnegie Mellon was ready to extend its global footprint. And this evening, I'd like to take a few moments to reflect on some of the achievements and to recognize some of those who have supported us. So, as you have heard, I am sort of filling in at the podium this evening, if inadequately, for our Dean, Ilker Beybars, from whom I extend warm greetings. He's recovering from some minor surgery, but is under doctor's orders not to fly. But he has conveyed to us how deeply he wishes he would have been able to be here with his CMU family, his friends, and guests from Pittsburgh and other places. We, of course, are also sorry that he's not here, but he has told me he has immovable plans to be here for the 20th anniversary. And I sort of bet that he is watching us on the webcast right now. So, Ilker, hello from Qatar, and please join me in conveying our best wishes to him. It's been an extraordinary adventure, extraordinary opportunity for Carnegie Mellon. When Carnegie Mellon University Qatar opened in 2004, we offered 2 academic programs. We now offer 5. We started in 2 corridors inside Weill Cornell building. Now we have this extraordinary facility. We've grown from 41 students entering that first year to over 400 students today. Our student body is over 40% Qataris, and we have students from 20 other nationalities represented on campus. And has been noted by President Suresh, we've graduated almost 300 young men and women. But our success is not measured purely by the numbers. I will say, and the students know, that the Carnegie Mellon curriculum in Qatar is every bit as rigorous, as challenging, as thorough, and as demanding as in Pittsburgh. But I also want to say that the students here have done extraordinarily well. And I mean not only academically, although they've done exceptionally academically, but as ethical, bright, hardworking, and humane leaders. Indeed, we are here helping to create the next generation of researchers, of entrepreneurs, of leaders and problem solvers for Qatar, for the region, and for the world. Our alumni have pursued graduate degrees at some of the world's most prestigious institutions. 1 year after graduation, each of our students who sought to move into employment has found work, and they have been recruited by top organizations such as General Electric, Google, Microsoft, Qatar Petroleum, Shell, Sidra Medical and Research Center, and many more. When Carnegie Mellon students and graduates compete on an international level, they come out on the top. To date, for example, Google has recognized 4 Carnegie Mellon Qatar students over the years through its highly competitive Anita Borg Scholarship Program. Time and again, Dean Baybars has heard from employers how pleased they are with their Carnegie Mellon hires. They praise them for their hard work, their creativity, and their team-above-self approach. Those are all hallmarks of a Carnegie Mellon education, which the faculty and the students on this campus have embraced and made their own over the past 10 years. Making this all happen in the past 10 years was not easy. From the beginning, we knew we would have to bring more than our academic programs to Qatar. We would need to emulate the entire university experience, including all facets of student and campus life. As Dr. Suresh noted, Qatar Foundation has been an extraordinary partner, supporting not only our freedom to run academic programs as we do in Pittsburgh, but allowing us to bring Carnegie Mellon's unique culture to Doha. It's been an incredible journey. We have educated students, enhanced the educational resources of the country, and developed research programs relevant to the region and beyond. We have worked in synergy with all of the universities here in Doha, and the Qatar campus has added to the vibrancy of our Pittsburgh campus. We have achieved all of this through partnership with the Qatar Foundation. I would like to thank His Highness the Father Emir, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, for his for his vision to place education at the heart of Qatar National Vision 2030. I would, of course, like to extend special recognition to Her Highness, Sheikh Moza bint Nasser, chairperson of the Qatar Foundation, for her incredible leadership and continued support of CMUQ. I would like to thank and recognize the extraordinary role that President Emeritus Jared Cohen has played from the founding president and moving force for Carnegie Mellon behind this venture, as well as Professor Raj Reddy, who got us into all of this. We're so happy you did. I'd like to also thank Engineer Saad Al-Muhannadi, President of the Qatar Foundation. We are very grateful to be working with him. and especially the former president of the Qatar Foundation, Dr. Mohammed Fatih Saud, and our partner throughout within Qatar and the Education City. Our partnership also extends into the community. I'd like to recognize the 15 Qatari companies and organizations with whom the university has signed memoranda of understanding. I also want to especially thank the many Carnegie Mellon faculty and staff, both in Doha and Pittsburgh, who have worked hard over the years to establish and develop our campus here. I want especially to recognize Mary Jo Dively, your General Counsel, and Ahmed Hasna, Vice President for Partnership and Performance at Hamid bin Khalifa University, who have been on our joint advisory board and working with us from the very beginning. And last but not least, I would like to recognize all of our current faculty and staff, and to celebrate especially those employees, faculty, and staff who have been here at Carnegie Mellon Q for 8 years, 9 years, or 10 years. And if you could stand just for a second so we could recognize you. There they are. And it's time to turn our attention to a very important group, the most important group, our students. And it's my pleasure to introduce Tarek Al-Hariri, the president of the Student Majlis, the student body, and a junior in business administration at CMU Q. Tarek?
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Your Highness Sheikh Hamza bin Nasser, Your Excellencies and Ministers, President Suresh, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Tartans. As Carnegie Mellon marks 10 years in Qatar and looks forward to its continued growth, I speak on behalf of the student body to say that we are all proud to be a part of this incredible journey. I would like to begin with a verse from the Holy Quran, which has inspired my personal journey. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم إن في ذلك لآيات للعالمين. And of Allah's signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth and the diversity of your languages and your colors. Indeed, in that are signs for those of knowledge. As this verse emphasizes, our color and language diversity is a beautiful feature of humanity. This is in part because recognizing and confronting diversity allows us to expand our horizons by understanding our similarities and differences. Essentially, we become better equipped to understand others. But even more than that, diversity empowers us to understand and appreciate our own selves as we pursue our own individual journeys. Diversity is not about the differences between us, but about the similarities we hold and the core values we share in the face of differences. When this verse was revealed 1,400 years ago, people had to travel the world to understand the meaning of different colors and languages. Today at Carnegie Mellon, we only need to look around us. Our vibrant student body represents over 40 countries from around the world. Every class adds new flavors to the community, and together, we build an integrated community where our student body embraces understanding those different from them. We are unified through our shared Tartan values, which strengthen us past our differences in nationalities, experiences, and interests. To best illustrate this, I'll tell you one of the most impactful stories that happened to me during my time at Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar. Once in freshman year, after a long week of intensive studies and assignments, I began to feel homesick as an international student. I knew that, like every week, I'd just return to the dorms and wait for my friends to go out somewhere. Stumbling out of my morning classes, I headed to the weekly forum, the Thursday Majlis, where I hoped to catch up with my friends and have some karak. As I took a sip of tea, I began to zone out through the student government announcements. Little by little, my friends and peers left, either to classes or to home. I remained alone in this very same atrium, which is pretty big, and for a while, reflected on my experiences. It was getting late, and I knew that it was close to the time where my friends would go out. However, I noticed something which instead caught my attention. The student body president at the time was walking towards the majlis, and as he walked, some other students noticed and joined him. Other students had already been there and were beginning to gather around in a circle. I watched in curiosity, recognizing students from different majors and different classes coming together. And at that point, they began to discuss values at CMUQ and our role on making sure that this community is a positive one. I hovered in the corner and noticed that as the hour passed, more students began to appear. I looked to my right and to my left and noticed students from different years and from different majors coming together. They represented multiple nationalities with multiple interests. But in that hour, everyone was coming together to talk and learn from each other. Despite being a quiet guy, I soon found myself also engaging in the topic and talking about values that I felt were important. Just a couple of years later, I decided to exert effort to becoming elected the Student Majlis President so that when those next freshmen stumble out of their morning classes, they can find a home in the continued Thursday discussions held on campus. What I found to be the beauty of this incident is, even though it happens weekly with the student body president, it also happens daily in different groups and amongst different friends. Here at CMUQ, we don't just learn academics, we live multiculturalism and embrace the true meaning of understanding and diversity. Recognizing this, I think, is a core part of what al-alamin, or the knowledgeable, means. On behalf of the current students, we are thankful that Qatar Foundation has invited Carnegie Mellon to join and part of Education City. And we are thankful that Carnegie Mellon has chosen to become a part of Qatar Foundation. Through this partnership, we students are enabled and inspired to make a real difference in Qatar, in the region, and across the world. We all look forward to being a part of CMUQ's next decade. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tariq. As we move through the evening, it has become clear how many people and organizations have been integral to our growth, successes, and achievements. We would like to recognize them on screen as we welcome back the Matisse Quartet, playing the second movement from Felix Mendelssohn's String Quartet, number 2 in A minor. Please join me in thanking the Matisse Quartet for their beautiful performances this evening. As you'll have just seen on screen, there are many individuals and organizations who have contributed to making Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar the success story that it is today. The people who have benefited most from this success are people like myself, the graduates of Carnegie Mellon Qatar. We are fortunate to have such a diverse, talented, and well-respected alumni, and we are delighted to welcome many of them here this evening. Yes. As a recent graduate of the class of 2013, I have been present at many of our graduation ceremonies where the number of graduating students has increased each year. In particular, I remember the graduation ceremony of 2011 and the inspirational, and the inspirational address given by the student speaker that year, Nova Suwaidi. We will be welcoming Nof as the alumni speaker, but first, let's go back to 2011 to revisit her inspirational words.
When I was a kid, the idea of being a superhero thrilled me. For me, it was Superman. One morning, I wore my Superman suit to school. For a few brief but wonderful moments, I was the superhero of my first grade class. My reign as a superhero was cut short by the evil Miss Suhair. She said, "Nof, don't you know that a proper Qatari girl can't be Superman?" She became one of the first of many voices who tried to define my role as a Qatari Muslim woman. Most often it seemed the messages were of things I could not do rather than of things that I could. In my lifetime, women have emerged as leaders and role models. Her Highness Sheikha Moza championed Education City. Her Excellency Sheikh Al-Mayasa drives the philanthropic and arts initiatives in Qatar. Hassa Al-Jaber leads one of the most prominent organizations in Doha. These Qatari women and others have begun to change our path. We don't need to take off our abayas to make some startling proclamation of our liberation. We need to strip away the self-imposed and culture-imposed misconceptions of what it means to be a Muslim woman in Qatar. At Carnegie Mellon, we learned to do just that. All of our classes dared us to set higher goals for ourselves. Carnegie Mellon exemplifies what I hope the future will look like. A place where we can compete and create while we celebrate our core values. Thank you. I'm glad I have an opportunity to clear something up today. There was a rumor in graduation that I was wearing a Superman costume underneath my abaya. I most certainly was not. But maybe I am now. Maybe. You know, that moment seems like just yesterday. But then again, it also seems like an eternity ago. I am that woman from 3 years ago, but I'm not. Things have changed. In that clip you just saw, Hissa didn't have a title. She's a minister now. In that clip, I was confused about the next stage in my life. Now I know, or at least sometimes I think I know what the next stage looks like. In that clip, my cohort and I were celebrating an end to a phenomenal educational experience. Tonight, we celebrate an important milestone that is as much about the future as it is about the past. It seems like a blink of an eye ago. When I look around campus today, I see different faces, but the same characters that once made up my class and the classes before mine. I see the intellectual, the student body president, the activist, all the individuals that make the CMU culture as vibrant and as dynamic as it is. I may have graduated, but it warms my heart to know that there's probably another secret superhero in there too. I can still remember my heart racing as I rushed to make it first thing to class in the morning. I can still taste that 3 a.m. coffee as I crammed for the micro midterm. Today, I'm rushing to get to work on time every morning, and sometimes I have to stay up all night finishing that report. Things are the same, but they've changed. I've enjoyed professional success. I found a career path and a company that I love. Today, I work at Mshara Properties as a risk management analyst and as a writer for Just Here. I have taken my education and begun to successfully apply it in the world. I've used it to change my life and the lives of those around me. In my graduation speech, I talked a little about superheroes and the individual I aspire to be. Outside of my professional role, one of the most important projects I've been involved in since graduating was advancing a research project submitted to the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. This project studied how we, as a society, can continue to promote social good, equality, and justice in our community. What's important for all of you to understand is that Carnegie Mellon made it possible for me to take on this challenge. It was the confidence that I learned, the problem-solving skills that I gained, and the communication ability that I developed here that allowed me to confront these issues at all. This is true for all CMU alumni. Whatever challenges we face, whatever life throws in our paths, and whatever injustices we come across, Carnegie Mellon gives us the tools, the strength, and the willpower to face these challenges, believing that there's always a solution to be pursued. Even as we celebrate this incredible 10-year milestone, I'll finish tonight as I finished 3 years ago. Our work is not yet done. All of the members of the CMUQ community have a responsibility to share the light we carry with us, born from our experiences here. We have a responsibility to use this light to improve the world around us and to make the world just a little better in our own way. Together with CMU alums past and future, we will continue to do the work, not just for the past 10 years, not just for the next 10 years, but for the 10 years after that and the 10 years after that. It wouldn't be right to walk away today without thanking the women and men who have made the CMUQ experience as inspiring as it is. Her Highness Sheikh Moza and Qatar Foundation, our benefactors, have made this possible. We owe our success over the past 10 years to 2 CMU presidents, 3 senior deans, 158 faculty, 388 staff, and 754 students who have all made this an unforgettable journey of learning. On behalf of all of the alumni of CMUQ, I thank you all. Thank you.
I remember the dean, he said, this there's going to be lots of hard work. And we kept laughing. We did not believe it until we were there 2 years, 3 years later. When we graduated, told them that was a lot of hard work.
We were always laughing until, we had to study and pull all-nighters. Then we stopped laughing.
You don't get to give up because you see the people around you, see the professors, they come and they keep encouraging you, they keep talking to you, they point out exactly where you have to improve.
You get to meet international students or even local students with different backgrounds. So this prepares you to deal with different people in life.
The mix of students from like different backgrounds and different cultures and putting all that mix, together, something I would say exotic comes out of it,
Yeah, when you see the list of flags that were upstairs,
Exactly, yeah.
You have to walk for like a good 5 minutes so you can pass by all the flags.
Now, when things happen in the world, I'm able to see it through the eyes of my friends who might be from different cultures.
Philanthropy is important around the world because in Islam it's an important cause, and I was happy to know that CMU emphasizes on that as well.
One of the best experiences I have had in my life, even just talking about it gives me goosebumps, is when Carnegie Mellon gave me the opportunity to travel to Thailand to build a kitchen with a group of students for a poor village. Just the feeling of leaving a mark somewhere where you never thought you'd be, makes it extremely valuable.
Carnegie Mellon teaches you how to give back to the community. It's good to help others reach their potential.
I've seen history in the making right in front of me, from when this building was being built back to when we did the groundbreaking ceremony.
When we used to go for competitions or conferences elsewhere and we'd interact with students from other universities, they would really make us feel special. They would be like, this is a dream world that you're living in. This is not how universities are elsewhere around the world.
The research they're doing in robotics and business is helping Qatar achieve stuff that they did not reach. They didn't have the facilities to do that before, and now they're doing it with the help of students. Actually, students are the ones who are initiating such projects.
Quite a number of us have decided to stay in Qatar and help to contribute to the growth of the country.
Qatar is all over the place now, and I think this is what Education City is probably about. They're bringing people in, educating them, and then when they leave, you can't forget where you got your education.
They helped me recognize my own identity and recognize myself as a successful Arab woman at this point in my time, at this point where the Middle East is going through a lot of changes. And it helped me make the point where, the Middle East is not just about consuming knowledge, but we're there to also be the agents of change and to produce knowledge and to contribute and be more active in our societies.
It cares not about you as a student, it cares about you as a person.
I had no idea I will come out as a graduate with, so many skills, so many different qualities. I'll be so proud to say that I'm a Carnegie Mellon graduate.
This will sound cliche, but I can say that it changed my life. It changed my life for me. I know who I am now. I found myself in CMU.
I can clearly see the difference between the girl who came into the university and the one who graduated a few years ago. It's very clear to everyone, not just myself, but rather to everyone around me as well, either my friends, family, colleagues, or even my superior.
We were just talking, me and Tara, earlier. Personally, I would do anything just to come back in time and just relive one of those days.
I feel like I belong here because I consider people here are my second family.
I'm getting married to someone who also graduated with me in the same class. And I think Carnegie Mellon was the reason I met that person who's extremely important to me and will be, the partner for life.
We're making our dreams come true, and we're making Qatar come true in a sense.
Yeah. Wow. We are delighted to have so many of our alumni here this evening. And to commemorate our 10th anniversary celebration, we would like to invite them to join me here on stage. Would you please, the alumni, would you come down here?
From the moment I got accepted till when I graduated, it's been the best roller coaster adventure of my life.
It was the perfect experience of college life.
If I go for master's and if I don't go to Carnegie Mellon, I go to any other university, Carnegie Mellon would still be my university. That will never change.
Like, this wasn't only a place for studying, it was a place for meeting great people.
I really wish I can go back to university, and not just any university. Carnegie Mellon, for sure.
I would now like to welcome back President Suresh to deliver the closing remarks for the evening.
Wow. Weren't the students and the alumni fantastic? Please join me in thanking them for all their wonderful speeches today. 10 years ago, when the Qatar Foundation and Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh decided to embark on this journey, they both set out jointly to make sure that the quality of education and the passion for learning that will emerge from Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar was as rigorous, as excellent, and as inspirational as what students find in Pittsburgh. And from what we have seen today, I feel very proud that we have achieved that objective. And these students and these alumni are the living proof of that goal and achieving that goal over the course of last 10 years. And we really look forward to getting to the next 10 years. The ultimate metric of success will be what these alumni do in the world and how they impact society. And I really look forward to watching them over the coming years and decades as they change the world to a much better place. At this point, it's my great pleasure to invite Her Highness Sheikh Amosa to join us here to commemorate this very special event. Good, please. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats as Her Highness Sheikha Moza departs.
It's a wonderful speech.
Welcome to CMU.
Of course, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything. It was so much.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Especially. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you all. What are you doing now?
I work at Qatar University.
Hello. What are you doing now?
Central Bank.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Raj, this was a wonderful vision that you had.
Man, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
The joy comes by looking at the faces of people.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very nice. You did great. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite you to our post-event reception in the outdoor courtyard. Thank you for attending the celebration, and we wish you a good night.
Mubarak.